Hey guys, it's Matt. Welcome back to Notnilc Travel Tours, where we learn about strange, interesting, and creepy countries. We don't have to go ourselves because we probably would be thrown in jail in just a few days. And we have fun while learning about the country and how they fit into the NWO One World system. So today we will look at the exciting and mysterious Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan, today's feature on Notnilc Travel Tours. Since the scripted breakup of the Soviet Union, all the stands have become a very strange and creepy place. You know, what you're looking at now, maybe this picture was taken in the 50s. And by the way, if you're on a forklift or at work, I'm going to try to talk you through this. There are a lot of images. I think I can do it so you don't have to see it. Don't look up and be distracted and run that forklift into the back of an old lady's car. Pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, before the scripted breakup of the USSR, this is basically what the stands were and looked like. This picture's probably pretty old, but again, it's just some guy and his goat or some some guy and his camel, or there wasn't a whole lot going on. How did Borat, remember Borat, how did that portray Kazakhstan in the early 2000s? Remember Borat before he came to America running around, come meet my sister, number 3 prostitute, all Kazakhstan. There's goats running around and junk cars, and I know it wasn't all like that. But now we look at these stands and you see Asanta. Is it called Astanta or Asanta? The NWO capital of the world, this weird Kazakhstan capital with these big, huge buildings a mile apart and everything's crystal clean, looks like a Chinese ghost city. Well, Turkmenistan also has that feel. Everybody's trying to run the same scripts now, throwing rubber duckies. Matt, don't you know? It's the oil and gas money. Oh, it's always the oil and gas money. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. It's Turkmenistan, as we'll see, is a number one or one of the top gas producers in the region. Oh, okay. That's why all the cities start to look like Astana, Kazakhstan, when they should look like Borat's version of Kazakhstan. I ain't buying it. This is something weird going on with all these stands. And our job today is to figure it out without actually having to go. The human rights violations, it ranks so low. Again, we wouldn't make it past a few days without most of us being put in jail. I looked at the Wikipedia already. I'm not joking. Okay, guys, let's look at some of the pictures that Wikipedia has. This is like our bus tour. If we took a big bus tour through the country, well, this was like a long time ago. We wouldn't. You would. Well, if things were normal and the NWO would leave it alone, you would still see this. This is what it was. Okay, this is what it still should be. Guys, I don't know what he's on. He's twice the size of the thing he's riding. That thing should be riding him. That's not even, is it a burro or something? Looks like it was just born. That's just cruelty to animals. PETA probably got in there. Anyway, it should still look like this. But here's what it looks like. Oh, yeah. It's always the same script. Why do they need this military? You bow down and do what the one pause world system, pause once. You get this, you get your buildings, you get your money, you be a good little boy inside the one world system. I mean, it goes from this in just a short period of time. Remember Borat's Kazakhstan? Turkmenistan was worse. No one ever heard of that place. And then they have this. Oh, and it's just from the oil and gas, of course. The same script. Look at these square balloons. How do I get a hold of them? All right, let's continue looking at the images as if we're all on the bus together, like European vacation. Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament. Look, kids, look out the window to your left. There's a Russian Orthodox church that still remains in a country that's now 95% Muslim. It's nice they left it standing. Yeah, I read about some of these human rights violations on the internet. You'd think the first thing they would do after the Soviet Union left, they'd tear it down. It's nice that they left it. Matt, is this the impossible architecture? No, it's not. It's just bricks and mortar and bricks. Any fools from the field can build something like this. Matt, look here. Look how small these people are, and look how big the doors are. Was this for giants? No, it wasn't for giants. Not every big door is for giants. Sorry, truth community. Let's continue. All right. That has a Santa feel to it. So clean and crisp. Looks just like some of those cities in Kazakhstan. I get the impression if we looked at the other stands, we'd find a repeating theme, but I don't know. I've never been. Look how crisp and clean You remember that Star Trek episode where Wesley Crusher and Riker, they visit this alien planet. They have weird rules and laws. Wesley Crusher goes on the grass to get a ball, and they sentence him to death. In Star Trek, Bot, They sentence him to death for going on the grass. You Americans might visit this. They might have similar rules. You step 1 foot on this grass, it looks like the military police are going to be all over your broke ass. That's why we don't take these tours for real. Let's continue. This is one of their more expensive and classier restaurants that exist in the country. Okay, another building that has the look and feel of Asanta, Kazakhstan, with your classic dear leader, big gigantic Mao type image on your Ataturk type image, or in the old Iraq, the Saddam Hussein type image. The whole feel again is that same Asanta feel. Matt, you don't think they took the entire playbook from North Korea? No, not at all. This fits completely different into the NWO One World system. I don't know exactly. We're just looking at this for the first time. And as we go through this, I'm fortunate we're not actually there ourselves. Very fortunate. Let's continue. I mean, what I'm saying here, what Gus is saying, guys, is remember what it looked like or what it was? The guy on the mule, the jackass, the donkey, and the burro, people just like trying to fight over, scraps of straw and stuff. I don't believe that even if, okay, fine, the natural gas story is correct, or the oil and gas story is correct, I don't believe a country could evolve to this. They all look the same to me. Go back and show you more pictures of Asanta, Kazakhstan, but the truth community has been looking at that strange city for a long time, so I don't want to start there. I'd rather start on something new like Turkmenistan. If it had this gigantic oil find, I don't think it's going to evolve in this way. If it's not, it's completely on the puppet strings of the NWO One World system. That's my take, based on not much, then observing the Notnilc. Okay, maybe, Matt, it's not right of you to go in and pass judgment on this place you've never even heard or seen before. Okay, but I'm sorry. Prove me wrong then. Tell me this all came organically and naturally once they got the natural gas find and broke free from the Soviet Union. I ain't buying it. Well, I ain't selling it. All bets are off when it comes to the not. Ooh la la. What do we have here? I wish I could spend more time with the girls. I gotta run. This is a serious travel tour. We're all on the bus together. These people in the back of the bus are getting antsy. All right, this looks like Amtrak in the United States. Very much looks like Amtrak. But it's clean, crisp, and new. Unlike that piece of shit that I have to pick. Pam comes in on this. Every once in a while, I got to pick her up on this absolute Amtrak piece of shit that comes from the R5 line into the Paoli station from 30th Street Station in Philadelphia. But, of course, this is the model of what an advanced country should be, and the Turkmenistan railway is better, and the railway and subway systems and infrastructure of most countries is better than the United States. We'll look at that some other time. I don't know what this is. What the hell is it? A picture of a ship glued back here this is glued to some billboard, or what is a toy boat up front? I don't know. Just move on. Turkmenistan Airways looks pretty nice. Looks pretty crisp and clean. I'd fly it, considering statistically, even anywhere in the world, the statistically of anything happening, we're up to, like, in North America, we're up to one event in 200 million flights. Around the world, it's like one event in 100 million flights. So damn right, I'd fly it. There's something with reality going on with that, guys. Okay, the scene from American Gods, I forget the actor's name. He was in one of the key guys in Deadwood. He plays the Satan character in American Gods. He turns to the other guy, or the guy he's trying to recruit, and he says, they're on the flight together. He says, does this plane stay in the air because of great engineering and aeronautical design and great safety standards? Or does this plane stay in the air because the belief of all the people on it that it can fly? I mean, there is something like that going on. And we have to look at this again. How many hundreds of millions of flights have gone up? 300, 400,000 moving parts, cocaine-addicted pilots. There's never ground crews that basically can't get out of bed in the morning in some cases because of their heroin addictions, but everything just goes up. It's safe every single time. I don't buy it. I ain't buying it. Anyway, let's continue. What the hell is this? Hell. Look at this person over here staring into the depths of hell. You can see into one of the planes of hell from Turkmenistan. What the hell is going on here? I think some gigantic head's going to come out of it, like the last scene in Tom Cruise's Legend. I don't know. Don't get too close. I would not be that close. I would not be that close if I was this guy over here, whatever. Oh, wow. They can generate electricity. That is incredible. Oil and gas, same script. Matt, it's so clean with all the money. It's this oil and gas revenue. I know. We're just conspiracy people. Silver and gold from Rudolph. Oil and gas, the same script every time. Oil and gas. Look at these people over here with their flags. Doesn't it look like I don't know. It almost looks like too posed, like it's not real or so. I don't know. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Oh, petroleum and gas statistics. Magenta maps. Not quite. What is this? Topography. Right. The Turkmenistan president with one continuous eyebrow is meeting with my buddy here, Vlad, my man, our man in Inglewood, Vincent Vega, our man in Moscow, Vlad. Oh boy. Okay. They got the red, white, and blue. A lot of countries like the U.S. have the red, white, and blue. I appreciate that. Do they have the emerald green? It's close. The crescent moon of Islam. At least they're trying to do something different with their flag. I can't fault that. All right, what's this? Look, this looks like Dear Leader. Matt, they didn't use the same mold that they used in North Korea for this statue. It might be. What was Kim Jong-un's father's name? He was ill. You be ill. And Kim Jong-il, they might have used the same damn mold, just changed the chin a little bit and reported. I shouldn't. Look, these people, Matt, these people have a heritage that goes back thousands of years longer than your dumb, broke ass. I want to give these people a break. If they're in the middle of a gigantic Asanta-type NWO play, it's not their fault. They're born here. They had ancestors that go back thousands of years. Just saying, they think it's all natural. They feed into the same bullshit stories. It's the oil and the gas and this and that. And if they're benefiting, great. I really wish I could visit here someday without being thrown in jail. I really do. It looks okay. It looks okay. We'll read about. Oh, we're back at this picture. So let's stop. That's the end of the bus tour, kids. Anybody that's got to use the bathroom, 5 minutes back on the bus. We'll leave without you. Your ass will be stranded here in Turkmenistan. 5 minutes. Right, back to the map just for a minute so we get our bearing on where this country is, where our bus is right now. So we know where on the map we are. We're looking at Turkmenistan. Countries off to the south, Iran, and the other southern border is Afghanistan. Now, if you could pick two countries in the world that you don't want to really be pushed up against, that would Iran and Afghanistan. I know some of the home prices in certain parts of Texas have dropped. They're a little too close to Ciudad Juarez, but you trust me. See, being on the Texas border, close to Juarez, that's freaking Beverly Hills compared to the southern border of Turkmenistan with homes with a view of Afghanistan and Iran. My God. Do they have, what's that, Sloman Shield there to keep your house safe? Off to the right here's where all the stands start. Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. Kazakhstan is to the north, and then the big area that starts way off to the right. Matt, that would be the east. That's China, okay? That's China. But then back down to see India and Nepal, that's the mountain range. Not that I've ever been out there, but you can't, if you're in Turkmenistan, you can't go for a little jaunt through Tajikistan and just enter China. You crossing those mountains ain't no picnic. You've seen The Sound of Music. That's how China protects itself. And I guess over time how India and China became, it would be one country today, all one gigantic Foxconn country if it wasn't for those mountains protecting India. Selected passages from YouTube. The country is widely criticized for its poor human rights, I told you, its treatment of minorities, and its lack of press and religious freedoms. Didn't tear down the Russian Orthodox Church, though, did it? Since gaining independence from the Soviet Union in 1991, Turkmenistan has been ruled by repressive, totalitarian regimes. Not that same script again. It sounds like Myanmar all over it. There is every place in the world a repressive, totalitarian regime. So you appreciate the democracy that you don't have. That's the purpose of all these repressive regimes. So you look out your window and say, this is pretty damn good. That of the president for life. What? President for life? What kind of voting is that? Supar Murat. I'm not even going to try. he died in 2006. Then somebody else's name, it's even worse to pronounce, became president in 2007 after winning a look at it, after winning a non-democratic election. What? Do you know what the word oxymoron means? What, he had been vice president, a non-democratic election, brought two people in, pulled out guns. Now you two people are going to vote. His son Serdar, who won a subsequent 2002 presidential election, which was completely legitimate, described by international observers as neither free nor fair, and now shares power with his father, like Luke trying to rule the universe with Senator Palpatine. Turkmenistan possesses the world's fifth largest reserves of natural gas. Oh, well, here we go. Fifth largest. That explains everything. No conspiracy person can ever put forth a theory because all your friends are just going to point to that. Most of the country is covered by the Karakum Desert. From 1993 to 2017, citizens received government-provided electricity, water, and natural gas free of charge. We don't get anything like that here. Turkmenistan is an observer state in the Organization of Turkic States, the Turkceri community, and a member of the United Nations. It also is the only permanent neutral country recognized by the UN General Assembly in Asia. The only permanent neutral. Well, they're really expressing their neutrality really, really well with the tank display. That makes sense. What the hell? Government. After over a century of being part of the Russian Empire and then the Soviet Union, Turkmenistan declared its independence. Put your hands out, my cousin Vinny. Independence, October 1991. Okay, that's the independence, following the dissolution of the Soviet Union. So, I can't pronounce his name. He was a former official of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. He ruled Turkmenistan from 1985. Okay, they put his ass in, then it dissolved, and they declared independence in 91, so that jerk was already in. Then he became head of the Communist Party of the Turkmen SSR until his death in 2006. Now, it's that Who song, Meet the New Boss, Same Asshole as the Old Boss. He retained absolute control over the country as president after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. On the 28th of December 1999, he was declared president for life, which itself had taken office a week earlier in elections that included only candidates handpicked by President whoever. No opposition candidates were allowed. So it's like people were celebrating for about 5 minutes. The Soviet Union's been kicked out. What do we got? This asshole just declared himself president for life. Meet the new boss, same as the old asshole. The former Communist Party, now known as the Democratic Party of Turkmenistan, that was his idea too. He says, just change the name. What? Just change the name to Democratic Party. I think North Korea actually carries that as well. Change the name and these poor sons of bitches will think there's some hope. It's like the same script that plays out all over the world all the damn time. Between 2002 and 2004, a serious tension arose between Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. Put your hands out. Serious tension, identical, because of bilateral disputes and the president's implications that Uzbekistan had a role in the 2002 assassination attempt. Oh no. Guys, I didn't read forward. It's the same script. It's the Gabrilo Princept. The reality's trying to play out World War I to a degree. Oh, come on. In 2004, a series of bilateral treaties restored friendly relations. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they almost went to war. Yeah. So I'm sure Uzbekistan, does this make any sense? I don't know anything about the region. I don't know anything about its history. Just because you don't like someone or you're going to risk a war by trying to take someone out, the neighboring country, come on. It's a Notnilc script. Even if the people involved are really trying to do it, they're on the download and the frequency. It's a Notnilc script. It's a joke to real people separating from reality. In 2004, a series of bilateral and binocular treaties restored friendly relations. Oh, gee. How many, Matt, somebody's screaming at me. Michael's screaming at me. It's all NPCs, Matt. They're playing the script. Yeah, I hear you. In the parliamentary elections of December 2004 and 2005, only that jerk's party was represented. Here we go again. Only that jerk's party was represented. And no, well, why did they even have the election then? I mean, why even do that? That's just mocking the people even more. Declare yourself king. Why even have no opposition in a vote? I mean, why do countries even do this? I mean, it makes no sense. Let's just get through this nonsense. In 2005, he exercised dictatorial power. Same script, same script, same script. The year 2006 saw... I'm reading for the first time, guys. The year 2006 saw intensification of the trends of arbitrary policy changes. See, you could tell I'm reading for the first time. Arbitrary policy changes. Stuffing of top officials. Shuffling, Matt, you're losing. Shuffling of top officials. I thought it meant stuffing of ballot boxes. That's what I was expecting to read. Diminishing economic output outside the oil and gas sector. Well, what else do they have? They make toys there? A little guy trying to be a dentist up there? That's all they got. They got donkeys, burros, jackasses, and mules, and oil and gas. What else are they going to have? Big screen televisions? A diminishing economic output other than the booming oil and gas sector, and isolation from regional and world organizations. China was among a very few nations to whom Turkmenistan made significant overtures. Well, everybody makes overtures to China. The sudden death of that asshole at the end of 2006 left a complete vacuum of power, as his cult of personality, comparable to the one of eternal President Kim Il-sung of North Korea. Guys, I talked about North Korea earlier. I had no idea that reality would try to work this in. Here we go. Had precluded the naming of successor, Deputy Prime Minister, unpronounceable, and even more unpronounceable, who was named interim head of government, won a non-democratic special presidential election. Again, if it's non-democratic, how did he win anything? Why are you calling it an election? What is going on? Just at least... I'm not going to say the dictators' names, but Idi Amin, at least I bet he didn't hold no elections. Just pretend you're him. Don't make no sense. His appointment as interim president and subsequent run for president violated the Constitution. What Constitution? Why the hell? What's the Constitution for? Carrion creatures? Grasshoppers and insects? What Constitution for what reason? Is the guy that put himself in for life? He made the Constitution. It was one line. I'm here for life, bitches. Unpronounceable won 2 additional non-democratic elections. Stop calling them elections. Maybe it's just, Matt, it's just an element of the bot, the Wikipedia bot. I don't know. I doubt it. They actually do. They do the election process, even though they know it's no election. Even Vlad in Russia and Moscow does it. It doesn't make any sense. Approximately 97% of the vote in in both 2012 and 2017, he got, well, where's the 3%? Matt, they in Siberia right now. They're in the Turkmenistan version of Siberia. That's why they have the vote, Matt, so they can rout out the sons of bitches that voted for somebody else or wrote somebody else in. His son, unpronounceable son of a bitch, won the non-democratic snap. Okay, enough of this. Guys, when I started this, I had no idea what... I don't research this. I don't have time to go research and say, this is going to make a good video. I know what the Notnilc does. I know what's coming. I make adjustments on the fly. I don't have time to go, oh, there's nothing here that'll make a good video. I start it, and I know the Notnilc will deliver, just as it did here. It happens every time. That's what a false reality does. People are like, Matt, how do you make 5 videos a week? Because it's the reality that never stops giving in terms of its lunacy, reality breakdowns, and absurdities. I knew it would be here. Somebody throw a dart and tell me where we're going next for Notnilc travel tours, and we'll go there, and it'll be the same Notnilc bullshit. Thanks for listening.